Welcome to the RSP Boiler Room. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. We're going to take a look at University of Georgia running back Zamir White, listed at 6 feet, 215 pounds. People often ask me, what is it that I look for when I'm scouting running backs? What makes a running back good? Now, of course, what you define as good is really important. Good enough in college, good enough to start, good enough to be a draftable player, good enough to start in the NFL, good enough to be a Pro Bowl back. A lot of things with that question, but let's just start with the basics, because I think the film here against Auburn, last month, gives you a good idea of what a good pro prospect is, ranging from a guy who's going to make the roster to someone who can start. Things that those players have in common. First thing is footwork. Do their eyes and feet work in coordination? What they see, and then how they respond with their feet. Because in order to have the quick feet that you're seeing from White here, to be able to slide and press to that right side where the leverage is starting to, lean towards that right by the defenders, and then make a little jump stop tight to the back of his blockers and slide outside of those defensive linemen, and then make another quick step to cut inside two more defenders and pull through a route. Turn this into pretty much a 7-yard gain. And it was a slow starting play. I mean, this looks like this is going to get bogged down. And he turns this into 7 yards. What that tells you is that this is a guy who is able to use his feet to react to what he's seeing. That he's worked hard enough to be able to have well-ingrained footwork patterns and change of direction quickness that comes with the precision of his feet to find solutions. And the other thing that I like about him is just look at the pad level. You can see that the pads are over the knees. He bends his knees. He's got a nice kind of squatty position when he runs. He reduces the surface level. He leads with his pads. It helps him, here if there was any stray contact to him. He's all like elbows, knees, and hips here, as opposed to like a lot that you can grab on. And he's able to pull through enough and even use that little balance touch. See the left arm here? He's even able to swat away a little bit, some of that contact, and then fall forward. So this looks like a simple run, and we've literally spent about 2 minutes on this particular play. And it gives you some basic ideas about what you're looking for from a back in terms of footwork, use of that free arm to swat off players, ward them off, and be able to maintain your balance, and to be able to run from a position that encourages yards after contact. I also want to see good pad level after contact. That when you lead with your pads, can you pull your body upward through the contact to be able to continue down the field so that you can either continue running or extend your frame. And also I want to see fight, second and third effort through contact. You're going to see that on this particular play. And you see him pull through a reach right here with nice squatty footwork, kind of short, choppy steps. He has to pull, in order to pull out, he has to drop his pads a little bit, but watch him come up through this trash, lift his head up, get his eyes up, and pull through. And he does it again here when he's wrapped a second time. And it takes 2 defenders to wrap him and then a third to really pull him down on this play. And again, doesn't look like much, but it looks like it's really an 8-yard gain on this play. And he pulls through a lot of contact. It doesn't mean that it's all difficult contact, but it's all contact that could have tripped him up. From this one right here at the line of scrimmage to the leg, that could have tripped him up. He's able to maintain his balance through the contact here against the defensive lineman, through a linebacker, and then with 3 more defenders having to pull him down. So I love the fight in his game and the pad level. I also want to see how well you can manipulate defenders. You don't have to be super flashy with your cuts. What you need to do is be able to make the most of what's in front of you. And what's in front of him as he takes the exchange is number 25, who's getting a push on his tight end. And as he approaches this small crease, these are the cutoff blocks or the seal blocks here that are pretty good, and you've got a linebacker waiting on the other side of this. It's a tight crease. Is he going to be able to bounce this outside while the defender has helmet on the outside shoulder pad, so the leverage is in favor of this defender being able to get outside and shed to be able to make the wrap if our man tries to bounce outside. Knowing this, White does a good job of making a little jump stop here and leaning to that outside. So this is nice manipulation. It's not anything super flashy. It's not a lot of steps. It's just the use of a jump stop that only really covers a yard of space when he does this. Let's look at it one more time. As we get right here, here comes the hop. See that little hop and where that left? See right there? He doesn't wind up hopping all the way into the backside of his tight end here. He just does a nice job of getting close enough that he's within a foot of the heels of that defender. And because he leans to the outside, you're going to see just a half a beat later, number 25, lean to the outside right there. He gets influenced. Guess who also gets influenced to the outside to that head fake? Number 20 here, who was in the hole perfectly, but saw that little head fake to the outside. Now he's outside. Zamir White can slide and kind of scrape behind the tight end here tightly and squeeze through the crease. And see, 20 is still moving to the outside. Now he's finally caught himself. So that little head fake and that little jump stop was efficient enough to cause two defenders to move outside. Love that. Squeezes through. And then, of course, finishes strong the way Zamir White likes to finish strong. I'm going to look at it one more time here. Again, you're going to see the push by number 25, the read of that at the exchange point by White, the jump stop, the lean with the shoulder and the head. That influences 20. It influences 25. Squeezes through the tighter crease. And then continues strong with that nice pad level and movement with his feet. So we've seen pad level. We've seen the footwork. We've seen the patience and the manipulation ability, the strong second and third effort, the balanced touch, the use of the free hand, both to ward off defenders and to be able to stay, on his feet. The ability to lift his head up to be able to work through contact. A lot of good basic stuff. Now we want to look at some athletic traits. We know he's big and strong. 6 feet, 215, right in the wheelhouse of a starting running back. And you can see that he's able to pull through contact and bounce off some hits and pull through reaches and wraps. Does he have burst? Because you don't see a lot of big runs from Zamir White. But to me, right here, that's burst. That's what acceleration looks like. He's patient through this crease. Nice couple little steps here to manipulate and find that hole. And then he begins to accelerate right here. And watch number 0 here. It's odd to see a 0 as a linebacker, but here he is. And look at that burst. I mean, he beats 0, and 0 has the angle here. I mean, right here, it seems like 0's got the angle. And he just flat out pulls ahead of him. So when you can see a nice, notable change in pace over a 5-yard span like that, that takes away an angle of a second-level defender, this guy has enough burst to run in the NFL. Is he necessarily a game breaker? I haven't seen any game-breaking runs from Zamir White. Now, I haven't watched a ton of White's film, but he strikes me as a chain-moving back. But part of being a chain-moving back is this right here. That's good. That pace change and burst also shows up here on this particular goal line play, this green zone play. And you can see it right there, just shooting through. Let's look at it one more time. He starts slow and then just shoots through. It's good pad level. So you can see, even on short yardage plays, he has a good blend between balance and urgency and knowing when to hit that hole hard, but knowing how to set it up. So this is a smart running back, Zamir White. A guy who I think is going to give a team, really bring an asset to them as a running back between the tackles. Someone that can obviously run for power, get yards after contact in the open field, manipulate, and know what he's doing in the running scheme that you choose for him. So thanks again for watching. For more RSP Boiler Room videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, Matt Waldman's RSP Film Room, and my site, www.mattwaldmanrsp.com.